Hello, beautiful people. How are you? So, my goal was to come in and hold space weekly. This week, shit got real for me in my life. And we had a scare with my mom and my poor mother. I am so grateful for all of your prayers. Right now, she's stable, she's home, and I'm so very, very grateful. I can't even express it. I know so many people have suffered losses this year. All of us have, actually, our family as well. But your parents are just so precious, and it's rough. So for those of you who I have lost your parents, my heart just, it breaks because it's so scary, and it just takes the wind out of you. And I'm standing today just to say that it has I don't know, just gives you a deeper sense of gratitude every day that you get to spend with them. And with things happening that feel tragic and are tragic, I still feel compelled to be here and hold space. I feel like it's necessary, it's needed. I normally start off by saying, how are you? How are you feeling? How is your heart? How is your soul? What's really, really going on inside of you? Are you talking to anyone about it? Are you sharing with anyone? Have you reached out maybe for professional help, like with a therapist? Or are you talking to anyone that you really, really trust about what's happening in your heart? I hope that you are well, and if you're not, that you're finding a way to do something about it. And me being here holding space for you, I hope that some of the things that I share or some of the questions or practices that I use may be able to help. I have a therapist, two, Dr. Faith Brown in New York. I have Lauren McGillivray here in Vegas, and I believe in therapies because sometimes shit is bigger than me, and we need to get out of our own heads. And sometimes you don't want people personally knowing, those dark, deep, fucked up things that you're feeling. So sometimes you need a third party, I want to know, I say this from a person that's a creative, an artist, and a love dealer. That's what I feel. I feel like my heart is so full of love, and just to think that something that I could share with you can help you and coach you along, it fills my heart up. And sometimes we do just have to share the stuff that we're going through, and it does help others. Our own testimonies can help others. So what I did is I went in some of my papers, my journals, and I pulled out some questions that I wanted to share with you today that may help you in your journaling or help you kind of pick at your brain a little bit to get it out of that bad space, to kind of shift it up a little bit. When you are thinking at your lowest, and I mean your lowest, like where you just feel like I'm about to give up, maybe you could ask yourself some of these questions. Or again, I said before, if you don't have a therapist or someone you can talk to someone you really, really trust with your feelings that you won't feel judged by. And one thing that I love about a journal is you can divulge everything on paper, and it's almost like it physically takes the feeling and the thoughts out of your head and puts it on paper. So maybe you could start there. Maybe that will help when you're feeling really, really bad and you just need to dump it on a piece of paper, pour it out, get it out of your mind, get it out of your brain, and then try and sort it out. And maybe some of these questions can help you sort it out. So let's start with number one, and I'll put them in the comment section or the section where you can write them down, maybe 1 or 2 questions at a time that possibly can help, or just get your mind out of that space, kind of shift it up a little bit. Number 1, what would you do if you could not fail? What would you do if you couldn't fail? What would you try? What would you do? And I'd like to take it further. What would you do with your life? What would you do with yourself if you could not fail? What would you attempt? Number 2, who thinks you're beautiful when you wake up in the morning? Do you think you're beautiful when you wake up in the morning? Who thinks you're beautiful when you wake up in the morning? Number 3, and I say this when I come on, how are you really? How are you? How's your soul? How's your spirit? How's your heart? How do you feel? Number 4, how would you behave if you were the best in the world at what you do? If you're a ball player, if you're a creative like I am, if you're an actor, an artist, a musician, you draw, you make jewelry, what would you do if you were the best in the world at what you do? I feel like I need to revisit some of these questions myself. I found them in my journal. Like I said, I try and utilize different things to help, just to shift the brain up and to make me think deeper than the surface. Number 5, are you finding your dream job or creating it? Have you ever thought about that? What is your dream job? Are you even attempting to create it? Are you finding your dream job or are you creating it? Think about that. And if you don't even know how to answer this question, answer, what would my dream job be? And question number 1 would help you a little bit. What would you do if you could not fail? Number 6, if there was a solution to your anxiety, how would it look? What would that look like? If there's a solution to your anxiety, what would that look like? Is it taking better care of yourself? Is it stillness? Is it being quiet? Is it finding a new practice? Is it a daily discipline? Number 6, I'll repeat it. If there was a solution to your anxiety, what would that look like? Being able to breathe, being able to not panic. Write it down. It definitely starts to get really real when you write it down. Number 7, when was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? I like that question. I love that question because it forces you to think of, what could I do that I've been afraid to do? Goes back to question number 1. What would you do if you couldn't fail? It might create a lot of first times for many things. Think about that. Number 8, I saw this question, I think on Pinterest. I really thought it was funny. What would Beyonce do? And I take it even further. What would Beyonce do? What would many of the greats, the people that we look up to, whoever you look up to, what would they do? I say, you ask yourself what these super uber successful people would do. And my question, the way I answered this question rather, is not give up. What would anyone that we see in a position that we'd like to be in, and whether it doesn't have to necessarily be the arts or entertainment, it could be in your business, in your company, in whatever path you are on, what would they do? Someone that you really look up to, or someone that you could model their success or what they've done, what would they do? And most of the people, number 1 is they never gave up. I mean, you can answer that many other ways as you want, but number 1 is they never gave up. And I'm never going to give up. I'm a no-limit soldier, so I don't know. But that's me. Number 9, what if there was a blank that could blank? Number 9, what if there was a blank that could blank? I'll leave that one for you to fill in the blanks. Number 10, Why are you worth knowing? Why are you worth knowing? I feel like I'm worth knowing because I love unconditionally. I love hard. Love is my superpower. I'm the love dealer. No matter what's happening in my life, I always want to be of service. And sometimes that's my downfall because I'm not taking care of me the way I should. But I'm worth knowing because I want to help you find what's great in you. I want to help you find your own greatness. I want to help support that in you. Like, let's all shine together. Let's shine bright. And you understand? That's why I'm worth knowing, I feel like. I know this is really long, and if you've gotten to 10 minutes or the 11 minutes, I really appreciate it. But I'm just wanting to share these with you because this week I really needed to dig into these kind of things for myself, just to ground myself again. Number 11, what or who lights you up? What or who lights you up? Love lights me up. The people I love light me up. Being creative lights me up. Acting lights me up. Sharing, being of service, someone saying, hey, something you said or posted or shared really helped me with what I'm going through. That lights me up. That feeds me when I know that being of service in some kind of way, just sharing a little love or speaking life into someone has helped them. That lights me up. Number 12, how do you treat people who can do nothing for you? I think that this is a really good question for us on social media as a reminder. How do you treat people that can do nothing for you? I see a lot of people looking down on others because they don't have this, look like that, or are not driving this or wearing this, or they're not in a certain position or status within an industry or a business. But how do you treat the people that can do nothing for you? I feel like that says a lot about you. That's my opinion. Think about that. And remember that kindness goes a very, very long way. I am going to wrap this up. I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but I will definitely come back on and just share, some of the breathing techniques and stuff that I go through to really try and just help ground me. Along with the journaling and the writing and certain things that I find to be helpful. But I'm here just to speak a little life into you and hold space for you. I hope that you're tapping into what makes you happy, or at least trying. And if you're very, very unhappy, that you are speaking to people that love you enough to speak some kind of life into you. And if this is the only place you have to come, know that you are loved. You are worthy of love. You are enough. You are enough. You are worthy of love. There's greatness within you. Tap into that and really think about what it is inside of you. And even if you are happy and you are feeling great, even still ask yourself these questions, because we could always push ourselves. So I'm not going to keep chatting and being redundant. Hopefully I will be on time next week with posting another video and just sharing with you and holding some space for you. Maybe I will do it before then, but I'm exhausted from this week. I feel like I have, I don't know, maybe a little PTSD myself just after going through what I did with my mom. So with me feeling so overwhelmed and so full, I felt like this was really the time I needed to sit down and share. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I love you. I believe in you. And I want us to all believe in ourselves and never, ever, ever give up. All right? With love, Misty. Until next time, stand in your power.